Yo, how's it going, guys? So today's just gonna be a chilled out, laid back video. There's been a new interview with the Black Ops 6 crew. So it's Kevin Drew, who's gonna be talking about honestly mainly zombies, which is surprising. Like this is a big interview about COD, and they're gonna be talking about zombies really for most of it, which is crazy to me. Like to think about how much we barely get anything as a zombies community. We don't normally get these type of things where it's like, oh yeah, this is coming out soon, and we're super excited for you to see it. It's going to be great zombies experience. No, it's normally from behalf of Activision CEOs. We can tell you that multiplayer is going to be this incredible thing, and we're going to have so much fun. Zombies is coming out later. That's normally what we get, but it actually Kevin Drew speaks a lot about zombies in this. In fact, he even answers a question that may not have been answered beforehand, or wasn't answered beforehand. It's crazy. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Let's see what they talk about.
Welcome, y'all. It is great to see y'all. We're gonna be doing
Bro, he's got some good energy.
panels. This is gonna be our meet the creators.
Ron Brown.
We'll be talking
All right.
some Black Ops 6, all right?
Black Ops 6.
You don't want to hear me talk. I got
Nah, I don't want to hear Kevin Drew, bro. I'm sorry. No offense.
Associate Design Director on Zombies, Kevin Drew. Come
There
on.
he is, bro. There's Kevin Drew, the new head of zombies, I guess you can say in this era, because it was first Zelensky and then Jason Blundell, and now finally it's Kevin Drew. So let's see what they're here to talk about, huh?
I want to thank y'all for being here. It's nothing like that day where you get to show everybody where you work.
Oh, this is awesome. Just seeing Kevin Drew there.
Both of these games, both in Gears of War E-Day and in Black Ops 6,
okay, Black Ops 6. That's what we want to hear about.
In new chapters in games that have been around for a while. There's a lot of history, a lot of legacy, a lot of love, and community participation.
A lot of fucking love, brother. Love Black Ops. I'm excited for Black Ops 6. I think it's going to be good.
A lot of that history, a lot of the stuff that people love with the new chapters and the thing. All things considered, they just
okay.
I'm gonna kick.
Oh yeah,
right?
Go for it. You gonna start with me?
Yeah, this one's for you, my friend.
Okay.
How do you balance the old and the new? Come on, going from Black Ops 2 to 6. Tell me what was.
I really like this guy's energy.
For each part of the game, right? We have campaign, we have multiplayer, we have zombies, and I can speak for zombies.
Oh shit! Straight up.
As an Easter egg back in World of War.
It did, in fact, Nazi zombies. Can't say that anymore without getting age restricted, but fuck it, why not? Yes, it was definitely the Wild West. I mean, they'd add like Easter eggs that they found funny, or like references to like movies and like other video games that they found good and shit. Sorry, I just want to speak of it, Kevin Drew, so this isn't just me like just sitting here going, "Ooh, we're like something that's interesting," and then just like me not adding any commentary to it. But you know, I really like Nazi zombies aesthetic, like the World of War zombies. I'm not gonna call it Nazi zombies because I'll get fucking like age restricted and shit. I can't go for it. So yeah, World of War zombies. I love the aesthetic of World of War zombies because it just feels like a bunch of devs got together, made something that they really enjoyed, which is what it is. But like, obviously, had to go through checks and stuff to get into the game. But it just feels like a bunch of developers got together and made something that they thought would be interesting and fun for them to play, and they let us in on it, which is like awesome. It's something that I think I've always loved about zombies. It just feels like a ragtag group of developers that have gone in and added things that is out of the norm for Call of Duty. Call of Duty is such a mainstream game, and like the multiplayer is usually pretty mainstream. The campaign's usually quite thorough, but it also has this very mainstream action movie feel whenever it's like a Black Ops game. I'm only using Black Ops for an example. I mean, Modern Warfare, I guess you could say, is like an action movie, but I'm really only speaking about Black Ops here because if I wanted to speak about Modern Warfare, I'd probably do that in a Modern Warfare game reveal video. But yeah, I love the feel of Black Ops, like the whole game. I think campaign has a very action movie mainstream feel, but zombies has always been like that one outlier where it's like, this shouldn't be in a COD game. This is not COD, yet it is. It's in Call of Duty. It's a part of the game, and it's crazy to me that they were able to do all these things, and they were able to start their own story with it. And Jason Blundell took over and made these just incredible maps, and I'm just hoping that maybe we can get something like that again, you know? I'm just really hoping, and I'm hoping Kevin Drew says some things that maybe I don't already know, or like he's trying to bring it back to the good old days, you know, something like that. So let's continue watching.
We would just try new things that we thought was cool, right? But over the years,
Okay, he's basically just saying everything I just said.
certain things we realize are very important, and we kind of established.
But obviously, it's Kevin Drew, so it makes more sense.
Zombies. It's a lot of
DNA, yeah, the DNA of Black Ops 3 really just. I think Black Ops 3 was one of the biggest outliers for zombies because it was like the time where everyone was getting into it. Everyone wanted to like find the Easter egg before everyone else, and it was this whole thing, you know, like the DNA of Black Ops 3 was just perfect. You know, we had a good balance, you know, fun replayability. I mean, just the maps, the Easter eggs, the music, dude. Oh my god. And the cast and crew, obviously, like it. The return of the crew, like the set crew in maps, is one of the biggest things for me. Like, I'm so happy that it's returning because I remember being like 10 or 11 playing Black Ops 3 and listening to like Rick Toffen and Dempsey talking to Eisendrach, and it was just like, it was so cool to hear them like talk to each other. Like, my friend would be playing as Dempsey, I'd be playing as Rick Toffen. We'd be talking to each other, like the characters, and that was just like so cool and interactive at the time. And I just want something like that back, man.
Like perks and pack-a-punch and
perks are important.
And hitting quests,
bring back double tap.
Things, and we realized those certain things are very kind of sacred, and we need to like,
Black Ops 4.
Keep those and
Black Ops 4.
better, but then always
Black Ops 4.
pushing ourselves to do new things because
oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's almost like counterculture to COD, where it's like we get to put things in.
Holy shit, bro! He's just saying Milo's words. This is awesome. That's what I said as well. Yeah, it's a counterculture to COD. It's like COD's mainstream. COD's very a mainstream game, and that's not a bad thing. It works for COD as a shooter, but zombies is a different kettle of fucking fish. You know, it's just a different thing to Call of Duty. And if you try and make it like Call of Duty, it just doesn't work. As you saw with like Modern Warfare 3 zombies, it just doesn't work. And you really just need to stick to, you know, what made zombies good in the first place, and that's the counterculture. That's the differences between the multiplayer and the campaign. Anyway, if I continue talking about this stuff, this video is going to be like 30 minutes. So I'm just going to let Kevin Drew to talk from now on.
You would never see or think that would be in Call of Duty.
Stuff you're just not expecting.
Yeah,
absolutely. Leaning into a lot of that brotherhood theme, and actually you can kind of look at some of that coming through in COD as well. Speaking thereof, like we got a really good look at how you guys are actively developing the game. How is
we got a great look?
The tech that you're using,
the UI,
a lot of that, especially in like player movement and the different things that people are able to do mid combat.
Yeah. Looks so cool with the Omni movement.
That's the highlight, the Omni movement.
Okay.
Yeah. Today,
Omni movement looks awesome.
And how you play.
I'm not gonna say it's revolutionary because I mean, like most shooter games have had it since like 2011, but like, it's awesome to see that COD's like innovating with the way that they use their combat system. I'm very interested to see how this works. Like, I thought we had a pretty good system with Modern Warfare 3. Just if the game was better, if it didn't have skill-based matchmaking, EOM, you know, stuff like that, I think it probably would have been a little bit better. But, you know, like, I think we had a pretty good system. So them innovating on that system, it's both a good thing and kind of a scary thing, because I don't know where they're trying to take it, what direction they're trying to take it anymore. But, you know, I'm just gonna hope for the best and see what they do.
The game, it just fundamentally changes how you move, and it kind of removes this artificial construct of like, you know, in real life you can sprint backwards, you can sprint to the side. Like professional athletes do this all the time. So once we kind of ungated that or realized we could do that, and we made this massive endeavor, it's changed everything, right? Like how you play multiplayer is different. How you play zombies is going to be different. Like the ability to, you know, sprint backwards while you've got a horde of zombies coming at you is very different than MP, where you're taking advantage of other things like supine.
It's going to be weird to dolphin dive backwards for sure.
Being able to run away from.
You still got to watch behind you.
We're thinking about that. I appreciate it.
Kevin Drew, yeah, you still got to look backwards.
Very committed audience. I know that's the understatement of the year. But how do you
yeah, we are.
Audiences into consideration for a lot of folks? Like they've been looking for these installments for a minute. I know people have been checking for Gears for a minute, and people have been looking for the new COD for a minute. How do you deal with a lot of that fan?
This man's asking some great questions. I mean, he's really clearly taken into consideration the communities and like their questions. And obviously, he has to ask some corporate questions, questions that have obviously been written down for him by Xbox to ask and stuff. But honestly, he's done a pretty good job of balancing both of them. So props to the host, and his attitude towards this whole thing is great. Normally, this feels really corporate, and you can tell this is all scripted, but really, he's just kind of talking off the cuff a lot. I like that. I really do.
Expectancy that, hey, you know what your people are kind of hoping for. How do we address that, especially when coming into a new chapter?
It's about trying to deliver something new and also what drew people to the franchise at the same time. I think it's very similar for
That's a good, yeah.
And the Blops Direct,
when you were saying
Blops Direct. Did he just call it Blops? Dude, that's an old meme. Did he just reference Blops? That's fucking hilarious.
There was challenges with that in the last.
Oh yeah.
We had to make
Cold War
concessions and
or Vanguard, I guess.
Certain things that we wanted to bring to zombies that we couldn't, and now there's been the opportunity here to fully realize and make what we think will be the best version of it. And one of the big things.
Very happy about that.
A set crew. Like this idea that who you
play
as in the story matters a lot.
Yeah.
You're
Oh my god.
with them as you progress through the cinema.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, man. Like the crew, it just makes a big difference. It just makes a whole world of difference. It adds new character, new breaths to the maps that you're playing. And from what I see, like for example, right now, like I'm paused on this screen, you can see the character in the map just like bleeding in. It's kind of a mix between Zertzabo and Mob. That's like the way I've described it so far. It looks interesting. The fog, like the layout, all the like wood, like the wood and with the paint that's like clearly peeling off. Like this is clearly like a quite abandoned area, I guess you could say. And it's interesting to just see like all these little like touches and like these little things that they've added to make sure that like that this map has character, this map has personality. I love it. It's just great.
Cinematics and just the moment-to-moment gameplay, which you have these emergent moments, and when you have the characters actually have personality and interact with each other, that's huge, right?
Yeah,
for both of them.
Yeah, that's an interesting connection between like zombies and Gears is that you're inhabiting characters and also playing with your friends and going on these like shared.
Dude, this is like the meeting of the minds, because back in the day I played Gears of War all the time, and then I'd also play zombies as well. So this is like we're back, kinda, in a way. We're back to the golden age, like when Gears was popping off, and so was zombies, like we're back to Xbox 360. And I have a video on my channel. Shameless shill, I know, but still I'm gonna fucking segue into it. I have a video on my channel called A Tribute to Xbox 360 where I talk about games that I grew up with. I don't talk about Gears. Gears, I think I'd probably talk about in a separate video if I had to talk about Gears, but Gears was also a really big game that I used to play on the 360 all the time. And to see these titans of the 360 come back really just goes to show that maybe we're just going in circles again. And I'm all for it, honestly. If we can bring these games back to the way they were before, the legacy that these games have is incredible, I'm really excited to see what they do with this.
Journeys and stories that sort of involve you and the people in the game is pretty cool.
It's like when you see how they react, like you might bond closer to this character more than that character based on their reactions, which is really cool.
I'm not gonna lie, when Mark.
Yeah, it's that's like a lot. Like Origins, for example, you really started to feel a sense that Richtofen was changing as a character based on the things he would say in the map or in the Giant as well. You sense that there was something going on with Richtofen. He had a plan. He knew what he was doing. He had an absolute. Whereas Richtofen before just seemed like a maniacal German scientist. He clearly was doing some evil, nefarious things to get self-gain. But whereas in the Giant, or even in Eisendrache as well, you can see that he has a change of heart. He clearly shows that he's growing as a character, he's growing as a human being. Obviously, it's a different version of Richtofen. I'm talking about Primus, and then obviously there's Ultimus that I was talking about earlier. But you can see the differences between the characters. You could see how they were changing, and it's just so important to show the personality of a character, because you can grow attached to such a drastically different version of a character. It goes to show you how good writing can be. The writing on some of the older maps is just insanely good. The stories they had were just so good, and I'm yearning for a new fucking COD Zombies game that actually like delivers what I want from a zombies experience, which is the key components. I want a good gameplay, good perks, music, characters, personality, you know, stuff like that. That's all I really want. I'm glad they're just like sticking to their guns and they're going to go back to the way it was, you know. Round based, just great, just good, just all around good.
All over. I'm like, no, I'm a boy. And then it came down to brotherhood.
You
Yeah, that's
didn't
my
really
jam.
think he was gonna fall in that hole, did you?
I'm not. I was on
Very different
pins and
game.
needles, okay? Just let me have this, all right? All right. Look, one of the things that I love, especially as a developer, is being able to watch out for some of those personal touches in the game. And I think for me, that's a very humanizing element. It's always nice to remember that the people making these things are often fans. A lot of them are like,
That's a
"Yeah,
good thing.
I'm excited for this game too."
I'm very
I'm
excited to
curious
see
what
how
you think
Kevin
about
Drew
personal touches that y'all
answers
got
this question.
for me personally. What are some of the things that you
I like to see the human-made stuff in games.
game, if you can share? I know it's some personal touches in Black Ops, and we also got like a look at some of them in the deep dive. Specifically in zombies, are there some personal touches that y'all put in that
I'll play the direct on my channel. Go check it out.
you're like, this is for the fans?
Yeah, so I mean, I've worked on every Black Ops game, so I have a lot of very specific examples. If you're working on the game, you're putting a part of you in it, right? And so, like,
Yeah, absolutely.
early days when you're like when I was working on campaign levels, I ended up like on Black Ops 2. I named a red shirt in one of the levels I was working on, Crosby.
Crosby, dude, I love Crosby. He's just a throwaway character. There was no lines for him originally. He was just like a character, and like everyone loved Crosby.
Black Ops 1, he was like this one-line character, but he was just hilarious.
There you go. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I started to name him there, and then I moved to another campaign level and another one, and soon enough there was like 8 levels with Crosby in it, and he had a full character arc.
That means Crosby is the Carmine of Black Ops.
And he has his own wiki page. But
Nice.
when he got
That's
to
cool.
zombies, it was sometimes our personal touches are accidental. When we were working on Black Ops 2, we were like a new team working on it, and we hadn't quite caught up with all of the rules yet. And so when we were determining the eye color for Mob of the Dead, the producer got to ask like what color to make them, and he's just like, I don't know, red. And then with Q2, like we released the trailer, and the community was like, what is this third faction? What do the red eyes mean? And we're like, oh, okay.
Oh my god. So he just answered the question. Mob of the Dead's red eyes mean literally nothing. It was just a director's choice. That's insane. Bro, that's never been answered by like anyone. Not even Jason answered that question. So there was just no rhyme or reason as to why the eyes were red. Okay. No, you know what? Fair enough. That answers the question.
Intentional.
Yeah.
I always thought maybe it was like the devil or like the Shadow Man, but no, it was just a choice. Fair enough.
Yeah, totally. It worked out.
Well, I guess if you say the Shadow Man, like also like the eyes would be red on the zombies and Shadows of Evil. But you know, you win some, you lose some.
But I think in recent years, not I've been directing the gameplay, the design systems. It's really about I want to bring zombies to more people, and so approachability has been a key part for me to put in the game. So just really like raise.
The reason I'm kind of antsy about the whole approachability thing is because mainly when they say approachability, that usually means they're going to make the game easier. So I'm a little bit scared about that, but hopefully that just means like different difficulties in the game, you know, stuff like that. That maybe like quality of life improvements for the game, which would be good. I hope it's nothing that tampers with the main game, you know, main aspects of the game. They're saying they're trying to make the best zombies experience to date. Let's hope they deliver on that.
Using the floor, a lot of people, it's a very challenging mode, and so when people try for the first time, they might survive for 2 minutes, and it's like once you get in there and you experience like the higher rounds, it's so much fun. So we want to just make sure that more people can do that.
One day I'm gonna get to those higher rounds.
You're gonna do
this
it.
This is the year. This is my time.
This game, we got all sorts of stuff for you that's gonna help you with that.
I actually want to go back a little bit and dig into those specific time periods in both of those franchises, because for me that was the standout thing in the trailers, that both of them made a big point to point out this is where this is happening, and this is the story that we want to tell around this. In Black Ops,
we're listening.
just 1991, just after the Cold War.
1901, yeah.
Bush and Clinton talk ripped directly from my memories. I'm dating myself a little bit, but picking a very specific time. What was going through the heads when we picked that moment to set Black Ops 6 in?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe you can't speak to that from the zombie side, but if you can, give me that.
I could give a light touch.
Give me a light touch.
That's part of our DNA, right? Like the Black Ops series goes
Mhm,
into
mhm.
very historical.
Black Ops 1, one of my favorite campaigns of all time, or actually my favorite campaign of all time, is Black Ops 1, and that was set in the war between Vietnam, and it was a good time era to be set, you know, with Kennedy and everything like that. It was great. I mean, the story was just incredible. It's one of those campaigns where you really need to experience it to understand, but the game is just so much fun, dude. Love Black Ops 1's campaign. So the fact that Cold War was leaning on Black Ops' shoulder really in a way and tried to continue the story that Black Ops told, and it was a great campaign. Second favorite campaign, I actually have to say. I loved Black Ops Cold War's campaign. It was so good. And the fact that Russell Adler is a new character that they added in Cold War, and he's one of my favorite characters in Call of Duty history, which just goes to show you, I think Cold War was one of those games that really showed me that they can still do it. Call of Duty can still do it. They can still deliver a standout package, like an all-around package. Because I think the multiplayer was pretty fun, and the zombies was good, but obviously there were some problems because of COVID and stuff, and hopefully this game is the game where they innovate off what they did with Cold War Zombies and bring it back to the way it was, you know, with Black Ops 3. That's really what I want. Like a Black Ops 3 style new game would be incredible with, like, obviously the new mechanics and features. That's all I want.
Memorable beats and kind of gives you this version that could have existed where there's a deeper story there. There's a lot of espionage, betrayal, and shadowy ops, and in this version, right, like this idea of you becoming an enemy of the state, like the actual.
There you go, Adler.
Train you because they're doing some bad things and you want to fix it. So it's also just just a very nostalgic era, right? I think a lot of us, at least elder millennials,
can't speak for me, but
children during this time period, and it's like revisiting those things with a mature perspective is going to be, I think, a lot of fun. But on the zombie side,
I mean, I was a bit of a history buff, so I mean, I like the whole setting of Black Ops. I think it's interesting to see like that time period with a new lens, kind of, with like the espionage, the FBI side of it, like the CIA side of it, stuff like that. I think it's cool to see it from that perspective. So seeing them touch on that is really cool, really interesting.
We left you like on a huge cliffhanger. So basically, Cold War.
Yes, you did.
A lot of beats. We at the end, like we kind of just did a huge 180. The director ended up being Edward Richtofen.
Whoa!
A long-stay zombies character.
Name dropped Richtofen. Okay. I see you, Kevin. Name dropped Edward Richtofen. So that is officially his name. It's not Eddie. It's Edward Richtofen. Okay. Good to know, Kevin.
Character. He betrays your entire squad. He sends them off for prison for 5 years, and we're here now in the early 90s picking up the pieces. So the crew have been in prison for 5 years. They've been just Sarah Connoring, basically just doing a lot of push-ups and just ready for revenge.
Ready to roll. All right, look, the voices in my head are telling me that we don't have a whole bunch more time. I want to know what you got final thoughts to leave the people with before they get a chance to do their own research and digging. Give me something. Come on. What you got? What we leaving the people with?
I think the same thing, where it's like I've been waiting like literally years to just say round-based zombies is gonna be.
We've been waiting literally years to hear those words come out of someone's mouths from Treyarch. So, Kevin Drew, fucking thank you, brother.
Yes. And I think we've set out to make the best version of it. So I think the entire team's very passionate about the mode, and we're bringing things back from the past, like Gobblegums, and among other things. And
Mhm,
I think they're
mhm.
going to really make something special here, and we hope everyone enjoys it.
Outstanding. I want to thank all y'all for being here. Can we give our panelists a round of applause, please? All right. Thank y'all. Thank
That was
y'all.
awesome. That was awesome. That's what I wanted to hear. He said that was music to my fucking ears, man. Oh my god. Yeah, no, that was a great interview with Kevin Drew. I mean, it's the fact that they could have picked anyone from Treyarch to do that interview, and they picked Kevin Drew, leader of Zombies. We never get that. We never normally get that, and it's so good to see that, you know, we're getting this. We're getting treatment. We're getting actual good treatment from Call of Duty. It's fucking wild, man. So wild. All right. Well, anyway, those are all my thoughts on the interview. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I thought Kevin Drew spoke a lot about zombies, which is so surprising to me to see that they're bringing back, like, you know, like they're talking about zombies a lot more. Instead of, you know, focusing on multiplayer and campaign, they're actually focusing on zombies and telling us, you know, this is what we want to do with it. This is where it's going, and we're excited to see what you think of it. That's what we've been waiting for. Communication like this is unheard of since Black Ops 3. This is like since Black Ops 3. That's the only time we've got communication like this. This is incredible. I'm really excited to see how this mode turns out. I'm really excited to see, and you're definitely going to be seeing some videos of it from me. And hopefully it's just good. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully I have a fun time with it. Same with multiplayer as well. Hopefully they've removed skill-based matchmaking. If they don't, I'm moving back to X-Defiant. But yeah, anyway, yeah. That's enough yapping from me. Yeah, see ya.